Okay, looks like we are live streaming. So, anyways, what day is it? Day is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and thank you for being here, Mary. Thank you for being here. It's great to see your beautiful face. And in a few minutes, we're going to have Carolyn here as well. Today we have a special topic that we want to share with you, and that's about emotional and constantly being hungry eating problems. Because I think we all have them where we're nibblers and we're hungry all the time. And the reason for all that stuff is really because we have insulin resistance. It's not normal to want to be snacking and eating all the time. And the biggest thing is all our foods are so highly processed. So, ladies, you guys have problems with food?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I did before. I'm doing better now.
Okay, good. I love your earrings, by the way. They're really cute.
Thanks.
So, so, which one of you ladies wants to get started? Tell us about the biggest struggles you had. We're not going to go exactly into the protocol yet, but let's talk about the struggles you've had, and then we'll get into what's causing those struggles. So, who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
My biggest struggle was I had just been doing a lot of comfort eating, and I managed to get my size up to a size 14, and that doesn't look real good on somebody that's 5'2". And I've tried so many things, like everybody. I didn't try that cabbage soup thing that you talked about, but I've done keto and prove it and just so many different things. And this has been by far the easiest, simplest thing I've ever done to help me with my insulin resistance, which I knew the name. I didn't know what was going on in my body or how to address it until you shared the information with me. What I have found is I have more energy. The brain fog has gone away. The inflammation in my body's gone away. It was so bad at one point that if I went to get a manicure and a pedicure and they massage your legs, it would just hurt. What normal massage.
Do you think that was maybe caused
I
by
love, yeah,
neuropathy, a little bit of
I
neuropathy, or
just
nerves?
inflammation. I just felt like it was
Inflammation.
inflammation in the legs, tenderness, soreness. And I just don't have that now. And had I had the brain fog going on, like, duh, but that seems to be much better. The hot flashes are much better. And, and I've lost 17 pounds and I'm grateful because I'm a
Woo!
smaller woman, but more than that, it's how I feel. Um, as you know, this product has something in it called chlorogenic acid that makes you happy. And I like that. So I'm grateful. Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome, and hang tight, everybody, because we're going to be showing some before and after pictures shortly. So don't go away. And Mary, how about yourself? I know you were
Oh
talking
my
about some of
gosh.
your stuff, cravings that were going on.
Yes, yes. I had so many cravings, and I was told it was just because I was stressed. I wasn't really hungry. I was just stressed. And my brain said, oh, stress, you got to feed it. So with food to make you feel comfortable, it takes the stress away. That was somebody's explanation. And yeah, that's what happens. Stress, oh, I'll have a candy bar. Stress, oh, I'll have some chips. Stress, oh, I'll feel better if I eat that Aussie bite. Stress, I was eating little bits, but all day long. And that fit was something that I had been taught to do erroneously, to eat 6 times a day to keep my metabolism burning. And if I did that, I could lose weight. Well, I did that for about 6 years and I did nothing but gain weight. And the more weight I gained and the bigger my waist got, I became more and more depressed. I knew I needed to do something. I exercised. I'm an exercise coach. Everybody needs exercise. And it cracked me up today because on my phone, I just got one of those flags: lose weight, eat anything you want. Ah, okay. What a formula for gaining weight and getting more and more depressed. It doesn't do that. So I did a lot of research, and about 10 months ago, with all my research, I discovered that I was insulin resistant. But now what do I do about it? I had no idea what to do about it until my good friend Carolyn Clark called me and said, Mary, I know why we can't lose weight. Why, Carolyn? Because we're insulin resistant. And I went, oh, that is right, but what do we do about it? So she introduced me to this protocol that I've been doing. I started March 18th. You guys, I'm the happiest person. I lost 24 pounds, 4.5 inches off my chubby waist. My waist was bigger than my thighs, I swear. But I lost that weight, and in doing so, I just felt so much better. I had better self-esteem. I was happy, but then I started to think about this. The whole thing made me happy. I just felt good every day. And then the system is called the feel great system. Well, I get that because you simply feel great. And
I think that's why they named it that.
yes, and I will have more to share at a later time, but
Well, I'm going to show your before and after picture. So hang
oh,
tight
and
because,
here's the biggie. My blood sugar levels went down from 5.3 to 4.8. Now
okay.
5.3 was good, but 4.8 is better.
Well, so thank you. And we're listening to this and we're going, what is this protocol? We're going to talk about it in just a moment. Danielle, did you want to add something before we get into explaining about all our processed, bagged, and boxed foods and why this is happening?
Yeah. Uh, just a little thank you and a happy birthday to
Yeah,
Miss
to
Carolyn
Carolyn.
Clark. I oh wait, hold on. I do this. Hold on, let me do this real quick.
Oh,
I thought we could sing a little happy birthday to her real quick. If
It
you
has to
want
be
to,
quick because we're on a time
oh,
schedule here. This
so
is,
so Carolyn, can you come on and just blow out your candle on your happy birthday?
Ready, set.
I love it. I love it.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Thank
So
you.
so thank you, Carolyn, and a
That is so
blessed
sweet.
happy birthday to you. Um, and
That's so
as
sweet.
Mary said, our dear Carolyn, we had been on this weight loss hamster wheel and just couldn't figure out because we were doing the natural things, the things that were supposed to help, but the culprit was insulin resistant, and that was so far off my radar because, of course, as I've said many times, I just related it to diabetes. And when she sent a picture of all of the symptoms, skin tag, um, struggling with weight loss, the belly fat, I was like, what? And I'm not under a doctor's care. I'm not on any meds, and I haven't been, thank God for that. And so I, jumped in. I got on the science calls. I looked at the information shared, and I was all in because for me, as a wellness advocate, I like to take my wellness into my hands. And so in doing so, I know that when we give our body what our body needs, it will heal and repair itself. And so the testimonies, the science, there was so much validation behind it that I knew this was something that I definitely needed to integrate into my wellness protocol. And to God be the glory. The one thing
That's
that I was focusing on, I wasn't focusing on any other thing. Mine was the weight loss. And the scale wins have been such a blessing, even in the midst of enjoying, eating, you know, being mindful, but staying the course, just constantly making sure I'm giving my body what my body needs so that it will heal and repair itself. And one of the good side effects of that is weight loss. Thank you for
that's
sharing.
awesome. Well, thank you very much. So if I was watching this, I'd be going, okay, what are these ladies talking about? And I'll quickly share mine. I too have been struggling. Mine was always snacking, like this salty stuff. I keep this in my desk as a reminder to share because this is what I ate every time I went to the store. I got a bag of these or two and literally would rip them open in my car on the way home and eat them before I even got home. And it wasn't because I was hungry, it was because I was craving something. And I am so thankful for this protocol we're going to teach you about tonight because just so that you know, if you're struggling with all these things, you're not alone. You can see all four of us have struggled with it, but there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people out there that are struggling with the same thing. And it's not our fault. We need to stop blaming ourselves. It's something that the food industry has put in front of us of years of processed foods, highly modified foods. Our foods are not what they used to be. And I'm going to show some pictures about that in just shortly. But we have things stacked against us, and we wonder why we struggle so much and constantly diet and go up like yo-yos, and dieting is deprivation. And we can exercise as much as we want, but it doesn't always solve the issue. It's what we're going to discuss today, insulin resistant. I'm going to share my page here for a minute so we can show some graphics. Hold on a second here. Here we go. So what is happening to us is this sabotage that's going on from the food industry. They're feeding us all this highly processed white stuff, brown stuff, processed stuff. It's never ending. Just a second, where am I on my page here? Hold on.
All the good stuff that's not good for you.
Well, yeah, it tastes great. I mean,
Look,
stuff
I
is
started
highly.
salivating. Look at that
I
fake
know.
donut.
Like I always wished I was a born Italian because I love pasta. I always thought I was born in the wrong continent or something because I'm definitely a pasta person. I know my parents eloped in Italy, maybe that's why. But I mean, look at these things. We all love these things. Who doesn't like bread? I mean, especially fresh bread, right?
I love it.
Here's the other stuff. These foods are highly inflammatory in our
Mhm.
bodies, like simple carbohydrates, sugar, fructose, white flour, pasta, rice. And then we get to the seed oils. You know, when you go in the store and you go into the oil section, all you're going to see is the corn oil, the soybean oil, canola, cottonseed, grapeseed, sunflower, safflower oil. They are omega-6 fats. These are highly inflammatory. They're not real oils. And they're very cheap. They're inexpensive. When you go to something that's actually good for you, like coconut oil and olive oil, you're spending a lot of money. And these oils are, if you go, and margarine is one step away from being plastic. You know, whole foods like butter and proper good oils that are good for you are not going to make you sick. This inflames your body. And if you go to restaurants, you know what the restaurants are cooking their fried foods in. It's these seed oils. They heat them at extreme heats constantly all day long, and they recycle them from day to day. No wonder we're sick. Everything that we eat turns to sugar. Okay. Bread turns to sugar, rice, pasta, cereal, fruit. Do you know that even fiber is a carbohydrate? And that's one that will not spike your blood sugar levels. Everything we're surrounded by, if you go to get yourself what you think is healthy, fruit bottom yogurt, this is 24 grams of sugar. It's loaded. And then we're all guilty of this. You know, you go travel somewhere, you fly at the airport, and what do? You go to Starbucks and you get yourself frappuccino. 64 grams of sugar. Do you know how much sugar we're supposed to have in our bodies? I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to stop share for a minute here. In our bloodstream, we are only supposed to have 1 teaspoon of sugar. As soon as we have anything over a teaspoon of sugar in our bloodstream, we are now considered diabetic. Just saying. And the problem is that we have these processed foods, and to make these processed foods actually taste good, because they're highly addicting, they want us to continue eating these foods because, whoops, it doesn't stop. Am I sharing the right thing? No, let me get rid of that. There. Okay, so what has been removed from our foods is this. It's our fiber. If you look at rice, this is what rice looks like. What do we do? We remove all the bran and everything, and we eat this highly delicious white rice. There's nothing in it. It turns to sugar in our bodies. And we have our breads. The closest thing you can get to a really good bread is probably sourdough, and you have to be careful there too, because you want to get the sourdough that only has 3 ingredients in it. All the other stuff has all kinds of things you can't even read the names of. And I'm telling you right now, if you can't pronounce something, don't eat it. It's not real food. So we eat these highly processed foods. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard like the white processed Twinkies. You can leave a Twinkie laying around. I think it's been 60 years and that Twinkie hasn't changed. Well, that tells you something. I'm sorry. This is not going to be good for us in our bodies. So we have that. And then look at juices, and I was guilty of this. I used to send my kids to school in the morning with, having breakfast. They have apple juice, they'd have cereal, they have orange juice. And I'm just going to give you an example here if you can do this in your mind. How many apples do you think it takes to make that apple juice?
Mm, I
Maybe
don't know.
eight, nine, maybe 8 to 10 apples, depending on the size of the apple. In nature, whoever you believe your creator is, everything is balanced. All our vegetables, our fruits not only have fiber, it's fiber wrapped or sugar wrapped in fiber. So it's proper balance. And if you look at an apple, if you eat an apple, you're getting both the fiber and the sugar. It balances itself out. Well, when we make apple juice, we have to strip the fiber out of this and we use only the sugar. And if you think about this for a minute, how many apples would you be able to eat to be satiated, to be full? One, two, three, tops, I would say 3 apples, and you'd be full. You couldn't eat anything else. Whereas you could drink all kinds of this juice if you're thirsty and you're drinking, 10 apples of sugar. So this is something we wonder why our kids at school are all hyper because we're loading them with breakfast, with toast, and with jam, and with cereal. It's all jacking up their insulin levels. Um, Even in nature, just so you know, sugar is even wrapped in fiber. Hmm. So you have to think about that. Everything that we have is perfectly balanced. And fiber is our friend. We need to get that back into our bodies. It's so important. And it's really hard to do with our modern day environment. I mean, if you even go to a restaurant, order yourself, let's say, a healthy salad, a colorful salad. If not just a, iceberg salad, you need something that has a lot of color in it with different, kale, radishes, carrots, all kinds of stuff. You're paying probably 16 to $20 for a salad like that. It's not affordable. And to always have fresh vegetables, steamed vegetables at home is also not always easy to do with busy lifestyles if you have a family and kids. Well, fiber is crucial in our diets. It helps with heart disease. It helps with if you're diabetic or type 2 diabetic, because what does it does? What does it do? It makes it so your blood sugar doesn't spike if you have fiber before you eat anything else. It also helps with heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the world. And if you are adding fiber to your lifestyle, it's going to lower your cholesterol, your triglycerides, and reduce your risk of heart disease. Then we have gut issues, IBS, leaky gut syndrome. Our mental health is also related to what's happening in our guts. And when you have fiber, it's kind of like a scrub brush. It can't be digested, so it moves slowly through your stomach and your intestines, and it scrubs all the bacteria out of it. And guess what? This can prevent things like colon cancer. And how many people do we know that have died of cancer? Think about it for a minute. It's pretty sad. My mom died of cancer. We've lost someone in our life to that. And the next thing is obesity. We have an obesity problem. We already have children. If you look at pictures from the 50s and 60s of the beach, it looks like nothing what you see now at the beach. Just saying. Everybody's got this big visceral fat, they got the big guts, they got all this, it's obesity problem. And that is because we don't have fiber anymore. And if you focus on fiber in your diet, you're going to end up not being able to eat as much. You're satiated much quicker. And high fiber foods are low calories usually. So that really helps. And if this is hard to do for you, well, you can always supplement like we're going to talk about today. So anything you ladies want to add about fiber here before we go further?
Well, I'll say something really big about fiber, Monica. I,
Yes.
about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a condition called um, diverticulitis. Itis
Okay.
means it's inflamed. Diverticulosis means it's just waiting to get inflamed. But I had this horrible, horrible attack and in so much pain. And years ago, they used to give a bisection. They would cut part of your colon out to take care of that. Now they
They
just give,
did. Oh, I didn't know they did that. Really?
yeah, they, and anyway, now they give you mass antibiotics to clear it up. But then the doctor said, you must eat fiber. Eat fiber. I don't think almond joys have much fiber in them. So
They're good though.
they're really good.
One
So
of my favorites.
when I started this protocol, I had been taking fiber, and then Monica recommended, Mary, do the complete system, do the balance from unicity with the Unimate, do the Feel Great system. And I've done it all the way, and it has made such a huge difference. I no longer have any sensation of that diverticulosis, which has really bothered me for not seriously, but always there. It's like having a toothache. You want it to go away, but you don't need your tooth pulled. But this fiber has been so beneficial to me. I do it twice a day. I will never be without it. Plus, it's yummy.
Yeah,
It's
and the fiber that she's talking about right here comes in these little packets, and it's a soluble, insoluble fiber. You can take it just before any meal. You just mix it with 4 to 6 ounces of water, shake it vigorously, and just chug it like a beer just before you eat. This makes it so you don't have to count calories. You don't have to go on a diet. You just add it to your lifestyle and it is delicious. It comes in 2 flavors. We'll show those in a minute. Thank you for adding that because that's really important with the fiber. And this is what happened. Oh, I didn't share my screen. I'm going to talk and not even share my screen. This is what happens with our American diet. We are constantly eating and snacking, and you ladies mentioned that earlier on when we were talking about our weaknesses. Well, when the food industry came out with cereal several decades ago, Post cereal, Kellogg's, all those cereals, they were trying to convince us that we need to have breakfast as soon as we get up to survive in the morning. And these cereals, I'm telling you, there's not a single cereal that's healthy, not one. Um, Even oats. And I had a farm. I'm telling you, what we fed our animals to fatten them up for the fair was oats. Okay. Oats. And the only way you're going to get any benefit from oats is if you do the steel cut oats. All the other ones, even the packaged ones that come, are processed. And a lot of them have a lot of sugar in them. So the cereal aisle, there's not a one thing in that cereal aisle that is not loaded with sugar that you should not have for breakfast. Sorry to say that. It's the truth. So this is what we normally do. We have breakfast, our blood sugar spikes. Then we have our coffee. We pour the cream into it. It always says on the creamers, 1 teaspoon is like what, 60 calories or whatever. Do any of us do a teaspoon? No, we pour.
Yeah.
I know, I'm guilty, right? So we have a coffee. Now we're spiking our blood sugar more. And then because we have this spike, we also have a crash. So what happens? In that crash, we feel tired and we are hungry. I remember when I used to eat breakfast, I was hungry for the rest of the day. When I don't eat breakfast, I can go a long time. It's just one of those things because my blood sugar is not jacked up. Then what do? We have, a snack. Then all of a sudden lunch comes around. We have the great American diet. And then we have another snack, and then we have dinner. So all day long, our blood sugar is elevated, constantly elevated. Our insulin is high, it's fighting to come down. Our carbs are high, and we're just feasting and eating constantly. Living a lifestyle like this ends up causing us what's called insulin resistance. And I'll take you up here to show you some of the symptoms of insulin resistance. It's because we are constantly elevated with our blood sugar levels. So take a look at this chart here. These are just some of the symptoms of insulin resistance. There's a whole bunch on here that are not, like glaucoma. People have to go get surgery for that. Gout, all those things. But here's some basic ones: cravings for sugar and salty things, brain fog. Um, Mary was saying about her happiness, and so did you know, um, we talk about our happy, good feeling. Carolyn was mentioning it too. So when you're insulin resistant, you don't have those feelings. You feel mostly down. You're constantly hungry. Skin tags and on your skin usually is the first sign of insulin resistance. It shows up there right away. If you have itchy skin, if you have psoriasis, all those conditions show up on your skin first. And that's the first stage, which we'll go over in just a minute. irregular cycles, visceral fat, high blood pressure. Men get, low testosterone, erectile dysfunction. Just look at these, low thyroid. All these symptoms are insulin resistant related. Then we've got this one, the visceral fat. This is a very dangerous thing. If you have visceral fat, I'm telling you right now, exercise is not going to get rid of it. You have to make a lifestyle change. This is very dangerous. It's choking all your organs behind your abdominal muscle. And I know this is kind of a scary picture to look at, but this is a healthy heart. This is not. Can you imagine all your organs looking like that, squashed into your cavity behind your abdominal muscle? It's pretty, it's pretty sad. So we need to get people understanding this because we can save lives with this. It's very, very important. We already just talked about the sugar thing here. All carbs turn to sugar. Once we understand micronutrients and insulin, insulin and GLP-1 are two hormones we're going to talk about. Insulin is a key. It's good for you. What it does, it helps to try to control your glucose levels, to bring them back down where they're supposed to be. When we overload our cells, they're constantly being fed more glucose. They can't function anymore. They close up. And when people get on these drugs, like let me show you the drugs thing. Where's that page with the drugs? The metformin, the Ozempic, Manjaro, all those things. When people get on those, it tricks the cells to open up again and let more glucose in. And the body's already overworked, overjacked up. It can't take anymore. So it does it fakingly, opens the cells up to make more glucose in there. And when people get off those medications, they actually put on more weight. And the side effects of those things, you can just look it up in the physician's desk reference, are terrifying. Not only do you lose bone mass, but you're also your fat cells expand once you get off them because you become resistant to those drugs as well. So here's a good visual. This is a cell here. This train is a cell. It's full of glucose. And the insulin's trying to get in there to try to regulate it. It can't anymore because look at the blood behind it is also full of glucose because we're eating all the time. There is no more room for insulin to do anything. And that's why we become insulin resistant. And very quickly, we're going to get pre-diabetic. 84.1 million Americans are pre-diabetic. 9 out of 10 don't know it. Like we mentioned earlier on this call, we didn't know it. Over time, being insulin resistant and having elevated insulin, we become actually diabetic. And that is a horrible number. It's 30.3 million. And that's 1 out of every 10 people. And you know what's scary about that? 1 out of 4 people don't know they have it till they go to the doctor and they find out that they've got other illnesses starting to happen in their bodies. So does anybody want to take the time here to explain the macronutrients on this scale and how insulin is affected by it? And if you don't want to, I can do it. Just I want to see if someone wants to volunteer.
Sure, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
it.
go ahead, Mary.
So, well, macronutrients, first of all, nutrients, and macro means big, the big stuff, the carbohydrates, the proteins, and the fat. And what I've been learning about food is that carbohydrates spike the highest amount of sugar to the body. Proteins don't spike very much, but they do break down a little bit. Fats, they don't spike anything up. That's good for me because I love butter. Okay. So I've been learning about the good fats and then eating in the right order. We want to focus on proteins and good fats before we eat our carbohydrates. That helps to keep our blood sugars more level over a period of time. And I think the biggest thing is for us to really understand what we're doing. It's like go to the gas station. You want to know what kind of gas to put in your car, not diesel. You just got to put the right stuff in. And so learning about these macronutrients for insulin to respond and deliver the right stuff to the cells in the right way it's the magic. It really is.
You're absolutely right. And once we understand this, we can make a lot of big changes in our lifestyles so that we're healthier. We don't suffer as much. But we still have battles because of the carbohydrates. So we have some tools, but before we get to those, I'm going to very quickly go through the 5 stages of our blood sugar when you start having diabetes. Okay. Stage 1 is where a lot of people are at, especially younger people. They have slightly elevated blood sugar levels. They have a lot of fatigue, maybe cravings, brain fog, a lot of urination, especially at night, and dry mouth. You're thirsty all the time. I saw that with my sister when she started becoming diabetic. She was drinking constantly fluids, and she's, well, we'll talk about that another time. Stage 2, you can see your blood sugar levels are going up, your A1C is going higher. Now you have other symptoms, and a lot of times we contribute them to, we think we're aging. So we're going to have all these effects happening to our body. Blurred vision, you're moody, you have trouble focusing, headaches, and remember we talked about the skin tags. This is really a sign that you are insulin resistant. I remember I had a couple of skin tags. I had one here and one under my arm, and they're gone now on this protocol we're going to teach you. You're also going to have complications inside that you can't see physically outside. People can be insulin resistant and look perfectly healthy on the outside, is what's going on inside. And you can see you could have fat in your liver, inflamed blood vessels, some nerve irritation. Then we get to numbers 3 stage. You can see your A1C is now 5.7 up to 6.4. Now you're going to start having the higher blood sugar levels. You're tired more frequently. You start developing that visceral fat, that hard fat that we talked about, and you're now constantly hungry. It's very difficult not to have food all the time or snacks all the time. And then we start getting non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It used to be that people went to the doctor and they had fatty liver because they were alcoholics. Now we already have children as young as 9 with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You start having heart damage, blood vessel damage. Men have low testosterone levels, erectile dysfunction, and PCOS for women. Okay. It just starts getting worse and worse. So let's go to the next one here, 4. Here's some pictures again. I like the pictures ones better. Now here you are now considered definitely type 2 diabetes. You start having neuropathy, tingling in your feet and hands, vision changes, poor wound healing. So if you have an infection or something or a cut, it takes longer to heal. You start having kidney damage and failure and plaque in your arteries and heart disease. And with the plaque buildup, what do doctors do? They give you statins, right? Okay, we're not getting to the root cause. We're only putting band-aids on it. And then this is the advanced stage. And you've seen people before with diabetes that have open sores on their feet. They don't heal anymore. And it leads to amputation, numbness, really bad numbness and tingling in your fingers and your extremities, blind, getting blind, loss of vision, kidney failure, heart attack, stroke. And then what's finally being recognized as type 3 diabetes in this country, and that's Alzheimer's and dementia. And thankfully, they're recognizing that in this country now because it's not been something that's been recognized. And
Monica,
yeah, go
can I
ahead.
share something? My friend Amanda Hugh, her mother-in-law was a diabetic for 15 years. She had a sore on her foot. It was they were going to amputate the foot, and Dr. Yu went and researched this and decided to put her mother-in-law on it. Not only was she able to ditch the wheelchair and she didn't have to have the foot amputated, she's off of all of her medicine. She's lost 20 pounds. And Dr. Yu
Whoa.
herself has lost 15 pounds and lowered her triglycerides by 40%. So I've known people with sores like that that don't heal. It's so sad. And to think that we have something here that can bless people with something like that is a major blessing. I just want to
I
share that.
totally agree with you. There needs to be more of a voice, and that's why we ladies are doing this so that we can get the word out there. Because the truth of the matter is, we need doctors, medications help with some things, but we need to figure out what's causing these things so that we can go, like we talked about, to the root cause to resolve this. Because we just get it brushed under the carpet with medications. And this is what I was looking for. This is what our competition is. Pharmaceutical statins. Statins have horrible side effects. Metformin, Ozempic, surgery. We don't need to do these. These are not the solution. This is the solution. Fasting, controlling your carbs, prioritizing protein and healthy fats. We all need protein. Our body helps itself burn more body fat when it gets protein and good fats, not carbohydrates. And then fiber, of course. We went through the fiber thing. And then after you eat something, go out and go for a walk around the block, get some exercise going. That's going to lower your blood sugar like right away. So we're going to talk about the protocol right now. And this is an amazing protocol. This is the solution that's natural. I'm going to ask you ladies to help explain this in just a moment, but there is over 20 clinical studies on this protocol. This fiber that we talked about has been around for, if you guys remember Rexall drugs, it was the biggest pharmacy all over the country, you know, we're old enough to remember Rexall drugs. But they came out, they were part of this 30 years ago. They came out with this fiber and it's both soluble and insoluble. And we're going to show in a minute what it does, but this has been out there, but it's not a fiber like a Metamucil or a Benefiber like these. These are one source fibers that help you go poop. They're great for doing that, but they're not what we need. We need something that's going to keep us satiated and lower our blood sugar levels. This protocol is a nutraceutical. It's natural. It's HSA, FSA qualified to pay for it. It's very inexpensive. We'll talk about that in a minute too. And it's patented. No one else has this available. We have two products in this protocol, and we're going to talk about it now. And I'm going to have who wants to explain the
we don't
what?
see your screen.
Oh,
We don't see your screen.
oh my goodness. I'm sorry. What part didn't I share? I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I
You're
don't
fine.
know. I'm so captivated. I was just listening.
I'm captivated too. I was on this page, I think. Hold on. Did I show this page with you guys?
No.
Okay. No, okay. This is our competition. We don't need it.
Right.
This is our solution. We're going to talk about it. Thank you. Um, so we have a solution with two products. One is the Unimatu, which we're going to explain right now. This is it's like liquid gold. It's your liquid willpower in a bottle. It's a natural GLP-1. We're going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about the fiber. It's in these little packets here. We're going to talk about that. These are two tools you can use to make it easy for yourself, take the guesswork out of it, that are actually working. And you've heard our testimony. I'm going to show pictures in a moment too. I have many more to share. But let's talk about the fiber first. Who wants to take this slide here and explain this fiber, what it does? Who wants to volunteer?
I will.
Okay.
So when we take this fiber, we take it 5 to 10 minutes before our largest meal. Their kit allows for one of before our largest meal. A lot of people will end up doing an extra box so that they can do two with your two meals. And if you don't drink this right away, it's going to get thick and you're not going to like us. We are not going to be your best friends, but that's good. You want it thick, but in your tummy. So my friend asked me the other day about drinking alcohol. I said, hey, just have the balance, the fiber drink before you go out for the evening. It's going to attach itself to those carbs and sugars and you eliminate it. I mean, how cool is that? And it tastes good. That was one of my biggest things, is if this stuff was nasty tasting, I was out of here. I love what the fiber does. It's just, how can I say it? Helps you cheat if you want to cheat, because this isn't a diet. I just eat regular. I just take the time to take this fiber just before my meals, and it works.
Thank you. And it's phenomenal because it's like a pre-meal drink. There's actually 9 different fibers and 4 of them are patented. So this is unique. It helps keep you satiated, slows digestion of carbs, gives you healthy blood glucose, insulin, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. And it's in the physician's desk reference. It's remarkable. And by the way, this fiber was studied by the University of Sydney. This is the glycemic index, the biggest facility in the world that does research on this. And they did research on the balance that Carolyn just explained. And if you took this with your biggest meal, it's going to block carbohydrates by 28%, help lower your blood sugar levels, which is remarkable. So thank you, Carolyn.
Did
And
they,
And it was my bit. Oh, sorry, go on.
they do that test with the breakfast and syrup and pancakes or something like that?
Yes.
and it brought it down how much percentage?
I think it was like 60%. I can't remember. I don't have that slide, but it's huge.
Wow,
It's huge.
wonderful.
So yeah, because it helps, this fiber helps block carbohydrate absorption. So you're not going to have the blood sugar spikes. So if you want to go out and have a drink, if you're going to go out and have a hamburger, French fries, whatever, this is not about deprivation. Just make sure you take your fiber first. Danielle, you wanted to say something, right?
Yes, and balance was my best friend when we went to wine country. It was my best friend over the past weekend, and it's been my best friend since I've been introduced to it because I didn't, I was able to celebrate when at times when there were celebrations, to have a glass of wine or whatever. And I know I'm always talking about alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic, but do enjoy I do enjoy adult beverages at times, not every day. And it's definitely been my best friend, as I shared. I got back this weekend after all my children. Well, not all of my children. Three of my children were home for the 3-day weekend, and we really enjoyed ourselves. We had other family members over, and as I always say, regardless to what is going on, I make sure that the Feel Great system is always a part of my daily regimen, my wellness protocol. It may not be 16 hours of fasting or, the 4 hours or so in between meals, but it's always a part, and it has worked. When I got on the scale Monday, I was just like pleasantly surprised. So the balance does work.
Thank you for sharing that. It's amazing. And this is why. Look at this diagram here. Without the balance, you're going to have these big spikes. Your insulin's going to stay elevated. You have crashes down here. You have to rely on willpower. With the fiber, you don't have a big spike. Everything is level. You can continue burning fat. And this, by the way, is a plant-based product, so anybody can use it as food. It's halal, kosher, and gluten-free, which is remarkable. So now let's get to what I love this. I mean, I love both products, but I love this so much because this is, like I said, it's willpower in a bottle. I have tried intermittent fasting before, and I used to always, all I could think about was food when I was fasting, especially for the first day or so when you're fasting, right? Well, this here, you just mix it with water. You can drink it hot or cold. I had it hot today. I still have the cup on my desk here. Drink it hot or cold, and you get up in the morning, instead of having breakfast, you're going to have this and you're going to sip on it. This is not something you just chug. You're going to sip on it till you break your fast, which can be great around 11 or 12 noon. And then you have your meal, eat normal, just try to prioritize protein and good fats. And then after you finish your lunch, make another one of these, sip on it. It's going to keep you from wanting to snack. It eliminates that desire totally. It gives you energy. We've already heard earlier about a feel good. This is the Unimati comes from South America. It's their national drink, Argentina's national drink. It's actually their football team's national drink. It contains basically every nutrient to sustain life, and they call it the drink of the gods. And why this is so important, we talked about Ozempic, Manjaro, Wegovy. Those are synthetic GLP-1s. This is a natural GLP-1 stimulate. So GLP-1 is a hormone that our body already produces in the stomach. But unfortunately, because of our food environments and everything, guess what happens? We don't have as much anymore. It's a master switch for metabolism, GLP-1. So it regulates appetite, controls cravings, and enhances your metabolism. Well, guess what Unicity did, this company? They perfected the process of extracting and concentrating and purifying key compounds of this plant. And they created the most potent and effective Herbamate supplement on the market today. I mean, you can see cans of Herbamate in the stores that has sugar in it. This is a patented product. And as you can see, this is all the things it does here. It increases your GLP-1 naturally in your body by 60% in a fasted state. Think about that for a minute. Why not drink this all day long? You know what I'm saying? And It suppresses your hunger, boosts your mood. It's great for, I mean, exercising, and it's purified. And then the other thing I wanted to add is that, ketones, we've all heard about ketones. They're like fertilizer for the brain. There's clinical studies demonstrating that this here increases your ketones in a fasted state by 80%, which means you can burn 24% more body fat. So think about that for a minute. Simple,
Monica, I wanted to
yeah.
inject something here. I have a friend, Carolyn Bird. So many people think it's just different things. Carolyn struggled with an autoimmune issue, and I'm a retired hairdresser, and she had alopecia, the bald spots, and
Oh,
within months that had grown in 2 months she had lost 15 pounds. But her husband, that had been a diabetic for 25 years, in 4 months was off of his insulin because of this system. So we're hearing these different things that these two amazing products can do. It's gut brain issue. When we can clean this up, everything's just going to work better. Everything.
yeah.
Uh,
We're healing metabolically, and then we talk about weight loss a lot, but that's just a side effect. It's it's remarkable. I want to share your pictures now, if that's okay.
it is okay. And my computer is dying, and I don't have the plug-in. It was left at the store. So if I go somewhere, it's because my
Okay, well,
computer.
we're almost done. We've got 10 minutes left, and then we need to wrap it up here. So, okay. So remember we were talking earlier? Here's a quick picture of my before. You guys can, oops, that's not me. This is me. This was me 3 years ago when I found this protocol. I'm smiling, but I was not a happy camper. I'm telling you, I was very, very unhappy with myself. I didn't even want to go outside. This is the new me. Um, a total of 4 dress sizes, 25 pounds in 90 days off my thyroid medication, off my hormone replacement. I'm drug free, and it's been 3 years of food freedom, no counting calories or anything. Now, let me show you this gal here. This is Carolyn. Carolyn, tell us about your pictures.
My gosh, it's more to love than necessary. What can I say? Oh my gosh, that's what comfort eating will do. Only it really doesn't comfort you, eating and drinking. And I got to be pretty large. That was a size 14, and I've lost a total of 17 pounds. But I I'm just amazed that I don't seem to have the saggy skin and all that kind of stuff. It just the body releases the body fat where it's supposed to be released. That's all I can say. It's not a diet. I'm just grateful for how I seem to be losing it everywhere.
And you look fantastic. I saw you in Vegas a few weeks ago. You look absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
And it's your birthday today, so like look at that party, girl. Thank you for sharing that. You look marvelous. And then go, Mary, let's talk about this here. And maybe real quick here, we don't have much time left. Maybe quickly talk about the inflammation thing when you're sharing your story here.
Yes, well, first thing, notice the fanny pack that I'm wearing on my belly. I did that to hide my belly because I was so ashamed of it. And but one of the things, inflammation is one of the very, very key things for health in the body. And I had at one time, about 5 years ago, experienced what was called PMR, polymyalgia rheumatica. That is hits women between 50, 60, 70 years old, and very awful. Actually, it was my 70th birthday year. And I developed this so excruciatingly painful all over your body, you can't even move. And the doctor's answer was prednisone. We'll put you on prednisone, that'll get rid of the inflammation. Well, bottom line, I did that for a couple of years, and yes, it did help me. And COVID came along, and my son, who's a podiatrist, said, "Mom, you have to get off the prednisone because it destroys your immune system." So by that time, I was doing lots of healthy things with exercise, and I got off the prednisone, and I was okay. I didn't have the inflammation. Well, this year, May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, my granddaughter was getting married, had a bridal shower. May 2nd, she graduated from college. May 3rd was her wedding. May 4th was my birthday. And for 4 days, I ate everything in the world that I wanted to eat. I mean, 10 times a day. I was constantly eating. The next day, I woke up in the middle of the night with the worst inflammation in the world. My husband thought I was having a heart attack. You got to go to the ER, go to the ER. Nothing's wrong with your heart. And they finally said, nothing's wrong with you except for, the doctor said, I'm thinking PMR. I went, oh, I know that phrase. Yeah. He said, they said, what you've done is just poisoned your body, that you've been really good not to have any of that in your body. So go home, get back with the doctor, get on the prednisone. And I went home so upset because I didn't want to do prednisone anymore. And I was sitting one day, I was in pain all day. In the afternoon, a little voice says to me, drink your Unimate. I'm going, that's to myself, that's just weak tea. But anyway, I started drinking it. Within 20 minutes, the pain was going away. Within 1 hour, it was completely gone. And I shared this with Monica, and she said, didn't you know that the Unimate has high inflammatory benefits? No. So I have shared that
It's
with
the
other.
chlorogenic acid in it. That's remarkable. You're right.
I'm telling you, it is the best. It is the
Thank you.
best. So thank you, chlorogenic acid. Thank you.
And there's her before and after picture. Oh, am I sharing yet? Wait, I gotta share.
No,
Hold
you're
on.
not sharing it.
I'm trying. There we go. Now it's
And
coming up. There you
you
go. Look at
guys,
this. Look.
I don't have to wear a
A
belly pack to hide my.
Fanny pack. Fanny pack.
Yeah.
You
And
wear it because you want to. You're gonna have to do it like the young kids do it. They put it across here. They
yeah,
that's the new style instead of putting it in front of the belly.
yeah, yeah.
Looks
Yes.
good. Looks good.
So add mood, inflammation, pain-free. I mean, weight going down. I'm just a very, very happy person.
Excellent.
Thank
Well,
you. And,
thank
and
you so much.
thank you.
You're welcome. So, Danielle, do you want to add something? We need to wrap it up shortly, but I'd love you
I
to
put a
share.
question in the chat. Di
You did what?
a question in
Okay.
chat. Um, Someone that I know has been prescribed that, and they have the palpitations or whatever, and I don't know much about it.
I don't either. That's something that this would be something to ask on our science calls when we do science calls as a support for anybody that's on this protocol. Every single Tuesday, we're having one this evening at 9 o'clock Eastern. This would be a great question to ask there. We do these, we usually have anywhere from 400 to 700 people on there. We've got a Dr. Atkins on this evening on 9 Eastern. So make sure you ask about that link so you can get on that call. Everybody share
Is
that
he a
tonight.
neurologist? Is that the neurologist?
He's from, I think he's a doctor from Toronto.
Yeah, but
He's
I think he
Dr.
was
Atkins.
the first one that I saw that when Carolyn texted me with Shannon, and I believe he's a neurologist or something. For some reason, that sounds familiar.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share with you guys where to get the Feel Great system. It comes in a box like this. You get this box with 2 Unimate, 1 balance fiber, and you get this shaker bottle that comes with it. It works out to about $5 a day. So every day, what you do, you take 2 of the Unimates. This is our liquid willpower in a bottle. You'll have 2 of these and 1 fiber with your biggest meal. Sometimes if you want, if you're going to have 2 big meals, take 2 of these. There's no, it's a food product, right? So let me share my screen and I'll share with you where to get this protocol and just ask for the referral link because there's, if you go right to Unicity directly, you're going to pay full price for it. With the referral link that we have, we pay the same price as you would. You're going to get a discount. This is a lifetime manufacturer discount. So ask for the link from either Mary or Danielle or Carolyn. They'll give that to you. And when you click on that link, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And this one happens to be my page, so my name's on there because I live in Colorado and I purchase it from here myself. And you see there's a little flag in the top right corner. You can change your country here because, I have people that are on this protocol in Canada, in the Philippines. They're in 63 countries, this company. So you can just click on that flag and change it to Canada, Puerto Rico, Colombia. You can see all the countries. Look at all the European countries. It's crazy. Asia Pacific, and they can buy it in their own currency, Middle East and Africa. And this company does not sell on Amazon or eBay, so don't go there and get it because you're going to pay full price. I don't know who's selling it there. It's not Unicity, and you're not going to get the money back guarantee with it, and you don't know what you're getting. I had someone that messaged me on one of my lives that said they had purchased something from Amazon and they didn't get the complete package. They got like one box of something and half a box of something else. So don't even go there. This is right from the company. Order right from the manufacturer with the discount. When you click on buy it now, it's going to take you over here. This here, you can customize your package. You're going to get 2 boxes of the Unimate and 1 box of the fiber. So it comes in lemon. You can get 2 boxes of lemon. You can get 2 boxes of lemon ginger, or you can mix and match. And the fiber comes like in an orange creamsicle. It also comes in a berry flavor. Okay. I'm going to show you how to save some money. I always like saving money, period. You can do a one-time purchase. You're still going to get a discount. You're going to get you're not going to pay full price, but you have to pay shipping, which is $10. So do what I suggest, do the subscription because you're getting an additional $10 off here. Plus, you don't have to pay for shipping. That's another $10. You're saving $20 on the subscription, and you're not locked into anything. You can cancel anytime. And by the way, this is HSA and FSA eligible, so you can use that to pay for it. Plus, you get this cute little hand mixer. Get the free little gift. It's really cute. And the big thing is for everybody here, you get a 90-day money back guarantee. Think about that for a minute. There is absolutely no risk for you here on this protocol. The only way it's not going to work for you is if you don't use it. But if you're not satisfied after a month being on it, or your second month on it, or your third month on it, we will be the first ones to help you call the company and get a refund. And the company will refund you everything, every penny. The only thing they're going to ask you is why it didn't work for you. Answer that and you get a refund. So this company would not be in business if the products didn't work. There's 60 countries, they're over 30 years old. The stuff works and it's a food product. Anybody can use it. Just stop your struggle. Get on the wagon here and stop your struggle. As soon as you join, you're going to get an email from us with a food guide, a fasting act, a chart on how to keep track of everything. You're going to be invited onto a group we have. It's a support group. There's 3,000 people in it now with doctors, medical professionals, people like you and me. You can ask questions. And tonight at 9 Eastern, we're doing an amazing coaching call that's free to anybody. It's got a doctor on there tonight, Dr. Atkins. It's going to be remarkable. So it'll be a perfect time. And if you're shy, keep your camera off. You don't have to be on camera, but you can ask questions in the chat and learn. I go on every one of these, as many as possible, because I just want to keep learning more. And with all the medical professionals coming on right now, it's absolutely wonderful. So you ladies want to add anything before we close it off?
Yes, I want to add one thing, and that's the cravings. And this probably was a bigger deal than I had ever thought about, but my husband works a night shift. He doesn't get home till 11:45 at night. And pre Feel Great system, I would start getting hungry about 10 o'clock at night and just wanting to eat. Oh, I gotta have something to eat. Well, it's not good to eat at night because if you eat and go to bed, then it causes you to have acid reflux. And that is really bad for you. So as this went on, I would say, okay, I'm not going to eat. And John would get home and then it's 11:30, 11:45 when he gets home. And I'm saying, I can't go to bed till I eat. I have to eat. I can't go to bed when I'm hungry. So big deal. Now that I'm on the Feel Great system, I am never hungry at night. Never. All those cravings, all those just wanting to eat, so bad for me have just disappeared. So easy. That's a big deal. That's a health factor beyond, really.
That
I
is
just
a big deal.
share that.
Thank you for sharing that. That is a huge thing. Thank you. How about you, Danielle? Well, I can't hear you.
Um, for me, the same thing. And what I've done is if I miss my cutoff, because I try to do the 8 p.m. cutoff, and I haven't eaten, I can go to bed because I've been drinking my Unimate and I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta eat. I'm able to make it through, get up in the morning and then just start the Unimate until it's time for me to break my fast. So it does help with the hunger
Well,
or
I
suppressing
must,
the hunger.
that's awesome. And I have to say that both of you, since I've met you, and that's been what, since March, end of
Yeah.
February, maybe March, you guys all look younger. So
Yay!
So do you.
thank you.
We like younger.
Yes, we
Like
do.
younger.
Aging back.
Well, I want to thank you ladies for being here with us today, and we're going to share this. And tonight, make sure share that we've got that live call tonight with Dr. Atkins at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a free Zoom for you
Yeah.
to learn about insulin resistance. So
Is it
thank
recorded?
you.
It's not recorded, is it?
What is?
Tonight's call. Is
Yeah,
it? It's recorded?
it will be recorded, but it usually takes a day. I'd rather go on the live so you can ask questions.
And plus, what I like about the live calls is the chat. You
Mhm.
get to, it's what people put in there, what it has done for them, what they've overcome, what they reversed, what medications they've been able to no longer take. It the lives I think are the best. It's nice to get the recording, but you just don't get the effect, the
It's
same
it's
benefits.
it's you're right. It's not the same feeling. It's like going somewhere in real person or seeing something replayed. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, ladies. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for
you
being
as
here.
well. Thank
And
you.
we'll see you all guys later.
Okie doke. Thanks.
Bye.